Your news for the state of Tennessee in about 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 starts now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marius Payne. Thank you so much for joining us for Tennessee in 10. We want to begin with the big talker this morning, the winter storm headed our way this weekend. First Alert meteorologist Stefano DiPietro has been monitoring this thing all week long. Stefano, what should we prepare for?
So we're preparing for a messy mix now, Marius. It's not just a snow event for us, but looking at the risk of sleet, freezing rain, and just widespread icing that could be a concern across a lot of the state. Major travel impacts regardless, a high-impact winter weather event. Starting off a lot of the area with snow going into Saturday morning. Far southern Tennessee, parts of Memphis are going to start right away with a snow and icy kind of mix. So the farther south you go, you may not totally start as snow, but it looks like as we continue into Saturday afternoon, look at that surge of warm air that's coming in. That changes much more of the area over to sleet and also freezing rain. Far northern Tennessee, right at that Tennessee-Kentucky state line, that's where the highest snow totals are going to be as that colder air just locks in place. South of I-40, there will be areas that change over to rain, and we may even do that in, excuse me, parts of East Tennessee as well. Not necessarily a good thing, though, because then on the back side of this, as colder air starts to work its way in, we end with snow, sleet, and freezing rain one more time. So road crews won't have a chance to treat roadways simply because the rain would wash everything away. So your snowfall outlook, I'm not saying no snow to the south of Interstate 40, but the farther south you go, the less likely it is we're going to get any really meaningful snow totals. Along I-40 should be some lighter totals. We get a little bit more as we go north of I-40. Really looking toward an icing event, though, now, with more of an ice outlook for a lot of the state at this point that could cause widespread power outages. You'll hear a lot of numbers thrown at you in the coming days. Let me show you what those are going to mean. 1/10 of an inch of ice would be minor impacts. Windshields coated, slick bridges, overpasses, ice on vegetation. 1/4 of an inch of ice is very disruptive. Icy roads, tree limbs, and snap and break. There are some power outages as well. 1/2 an inch of ice is crippling to any area. Treacherous roads, widespread tree damage, numerous power outages as well. So I think that'll be something to watch going into the weekend, Marius.
All right, Stefano, thank you. And if you have to get out on the roads and end up stuck behind a plow, just stay there. Trying to pass plows or emergency vehicles is not a good idea. Could be dangerous, and in some states it's illegal. AAA says it's not too late to make sure your vehicle is prepped for snow or ice this weekend. The first thing they suggest you look at is your battery.
Make sure it's charging correctly. Make sure it has enough starting power. Check your tires. You want to look at proper tread depth, proper tire inflation. Do you have any headlights or taillights out? Also take a look at simple things like windshield wipers.
You should also make sure your emergency kit is stocked up. First aid kit, jumper cables, ice scraper, blankets, an extra phone battery, and maybe even some snacks is a good idea. Of course, the best way to avoid winter weather issues with your car is to just keep it off the roads. But if you have to go out, pick your route carefully and avoid harsh braking situations, especially on patches of ice.
I'm Patrick Ellis. The Memphis Safe Task Force has made nearly 5,500 arrests and seized 885 illegal weapons since its development in 2025. On Tuesday alone, 40 people were arrested. With thousands of arrests by the task force now moving through the courts, 2 Tennessee lawmakers say they want to make sure the efforts by the task force are being matched at every level of the justice system. Republican lawmakers Representative John Gillespie and Senator Brent Taylor filed legislation that would require prosecutors to report when felony charges from Memphis Safe Task Force arrests are reduced, dismissed, or result in plea agreements.
Hello from the WVLT Newsroom. I'm Will Puckett. Well, a juvenile is now charged with making threats of massive violence. That's according to the Cotton County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say the threat was made against a Tennessee school not in Cotton County. The school district that received the threats was notified. Officials say the juvenile does live in Cotton County. The Tennessee Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are all helping in the investigation.
And today marks 1 year since the deadly school shooting at Antioch High School here in Nashville. And after months of investigation into the murder-suicide, Metro Police confirmed the 17-year-old shooter, Solomon Henderson, acted alone and had no co-conspirators. 1 year ago today, shortly after 11 in the morning, police say Henderson walked into the school's cafeteria during lunch. Officials say within 17 seconds, he randomly fired 10 shots, shooting 16-year-old Jocelyn Correa Escalante in the back. She died shortly after. A 17-year-old student was also grazed in the arm. As for a motive, police say Henderson idolized mass murderers from around the world, calling some of them saints. Metro Police say he also mirrored anti-Semitic and white supremacist ideologies. And there's a nationwide search for the Antioch High School shooter's mother. Metro Police say Krista Thompson DNA was found on the gun used in that shooting. 2 guns were removed from the shooter's home back in 2023. Those guns belong to an adult. Police say Thomas is a convicted felon and should not have had access to guns. Metro Police say Thomas moved out of her Antioch home after the shooting. Police don't know where she could be.
34 Memphis Shelby County schools are operating without janitors. Teachers and counselors now clean up bathrooms and mop floors while teaching the students. Parents say no one is addressing the problem. The school board met Tuesday night about the crisis. The board has rejected ABM Industries' $6 million cleaning contract twice, once in November and once in December. Some board members want to have the right vendor. Board member Tawana Murphy mentioned past issues with ABM. She says they are not the right choice.
They said they had 150 employees. That district alone, that zone alone takes 275 employees. How are they going to make that work? Because the math is not mathing. Something is going to go wrong.
Currently, school engineers are handling the cleaning work, working several hours overtime every single week.
A new supportive housing complex is now open in the city of Knoxville. That new supportive housing complex is called Lumen Flats, and it's open for young adults who are aging out of foster care. Statewide, about 80% of the people who age out of foster care find trouble later, either jail, addiction, or homelessness by the age of 21. This complex is only a piece of the puzzle to address what they're calling a growing need.
These kids turn 18. It's not a joyful day that they're celebrated with a birthday cake. It's a day that they oftentimes check into a homeless shelter which is tragic. And so the hope here is that kids who turn 18 and graduate out of into adulthood have an opportunity to have a safe, long-term place that they can live here at Lumen Flats.
Yeah, folks can live in the apartments for up to 3 years. It's actually a first-of-its-kind effort between private, federal, state, and local, all bringing it together to come to life.
Well, coming up, an extended look at your morning commute and details on this weekend's winter weather. Stefano.
And we're, of course, tracking our latest winter storm updates for you. Not so much of a focus on snow now. Not that we're ignoring that completely, but the chance for some widespread icing across the mid-state, Melanie.
And this morning, we're dealing with some freezing fog in several areas, possibly responsible for several accidents across town. I'll detail what's going on here on Bradley Parkway and why it's causing such a big backup. All the details coming up next.